Hi aspirants, welcome to SRV's Current Affairs. In this video, we'll talk about two important topics from art and culture in this week. The first topic is about Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. He is one of the famous writers during the freedom movement era. He was a Bengali poet and a writer. We would have heard and learned about his novel called as Anand Math. And this Anand Math was one of the many reasons for the growth of militant nationalism at the eve of freedom movement. For example, this played a significant role in the growth of the secret society called as Anushilan Samiti. This novel Anand Math, it was set in the background of the Sannyasi rebellion or the Sannyasi Bidroho. It is considered as one of the key works on Bengal nationalism. His first Bengali fiction is called Durgesh Nandini, which was published in 1865. And he also published a monthly magazine called as Banga Darshan. Books, magazines are really important for UPSC prelims, and Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay being in news, this information becomes really crucial. He also wrote other famous novels like Kapal Kundala in 1866, Mrinalini in 1869, Vish Briksha in 1873, Chandrasekhar in 1877, Rajani in 1877, Chaudarani in 1844. Here, these names of these novels are really important, but as far as UPSC is considered, these years are not much important, but just to know, I have mentioned them as well. And apart from this, his first fiction to appear in print was the English novel Raj Mohan's Wife. This was his fiction to first appear as a printed novel. The next topic is regarding the Harmandir Sahib, or famously called as the Golden Temple. The issue is that recently there is a call to remove harmonium from the Kirtanyas and instead of that introduce more stringed instruments, because those stringed instruments were the ones which have been played for centuries together, and those were the ones which were traditionally played and introduced by Guru Nanak himself. And those people who want to remove this harmonium from the Kirtanyas feel that the introduction of harmonium was done by the British people, and this is a sign of colonial ideology still clinging on to the Golden Temple. Apart from that, they are not willing to have a colonial ideology clinging on to the art and culture of this Golden Temple still today. And the proposal for this has been given by the Akal Takht. Okay? The Akal Takht, it is one of the 5 Takhts or the seats of power of the Sikhs. One such Akal Takht, Mr. Jatendra Jnani Harpreet Singh, he has asked the Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee to remove this harmonium. This Akal Takht, it is actually located in the Darbar Sahib, or simply called as the Golden Temple Complex in Amritsar in Punjab. Because harmonium was introduced to the Kirtanyas by the British, these people claim that it has lost its reality. And what happens here every day is, every day 15 Ragi Jatas or groups of hymn singers are deployed in turns to perform at Harmandir Sahib for 20 hours. Apart from this, there were also Muslim Rababis as well, who used to play in the Gurudwaras. This system of supporting Ragis and Rababis collapsed after the British came. There are 3 types of Sikh musicians. We just now spoke about the Rababis and the Ragis. And apart from that, the third one is the Dadis. And these 3 continue to flourish during the period of the Gurus. After the introduction of the British, or after the involvement of the British in the culture of Sikhs, these lost their significance. And let us know something in detail about these three types of musicians. The first one is Rababis. Guru Nanak started the Rababi tradition by engaging Bhai Mardana as his accompanist musician. Formerly, the Muslim singers were called as Mirasis. Later, Guru Nanak changed it to Rababis. But Guru Nanak gave them a new name called as Rababis because they played on the rabab, which is a stringed instrument. And moreover, these Muslim Rababis, they adopted the Sikh way of life in food, dress and manners. And that is why Guru Nanak gave a separate name for them. And the second type of musicians called as the Ragis. And they were the amateur singers who Guru Arjan encouraged them to perform in these kirtans. Kirtans are group of musicians playing together in the temple. And the Ragi group generally consisted of three persons. One plays the tabla, or actually called as the jari, but he very rarely participates in singing. The other plays the harmonium, and the third plays a stringed instrument or harmonium or cymbals. And the third one, dadis. Guru Har Gobind first employed these third type of musicians called as dadis early in the 17th century. The dadi groups performed before the Sagat or groups of Sikh soldiers. These dadis are known to use folk musics. These dadis, they were not much familiar with Hindustani or Carnatic music, but they were very much good in this folk music, and that is why they were very much familiar among the masses as well. This rabab, saranda and taus are stringed instruments used in Gurdwaras. These names could be simply mentioned in the prelims and asked what are they actually. These are stringed instruments used in the Gurdwaras to perform kirtanas. That's it for today. Thank you. If you like the content, please share it with your friends. Let's learn and grow together. Jai Hind.
When you wanted to select an optional, we have to undergo a test called as, according to me, Suitability Test. There are three important factors in this suitability test. Number 1, familiarity. Number 2, scoreability. Number 3, compatibility. When it comes to familiarity, the optional which you are selecting should be a subject which is familiar to you. Take for example sociology. We are living in this society, so definitely we are very familiar about the society related issues, the society related concepts, and sociology is nothing but study of society. Secondly, scoreability. We have to get a score which will take us to the desired service. We know that this optional is the trump card in UPSC Civil Services examination. It is the passport to the dream job of you called as IAS and IPS. Scoreability is based on some important factors like